Welcome to Shock Stock. My name is Jake, Grimbrother Entertainment. We decided to put this on, and this is officially the first Q&A event of Shock Stock ever. And oh, right there. This thing's a little tall, but you guys can share or slide it around. It's to your right, to my left, we have the beautiful Molly Dunsworth, star of Hobo with a Shotgun and Treevenge. And continuing over, we have Nick Bateman. He is also played not one but two roles in Hobo with a Shotgun, and you're also a four-time. I'm thinking ahead of time, right? Four-time martial arts champion. So we're here, we're going to talk. Well, I'm not going to sit behind this thing, there's nobody to see me. So I'll stand up and I'll get people's questions and stuff as well. So let me start by saying, wow, amazing, you guys. Everybody here obviously seen Hobo with a Shotgun. Fantastic. I went and saw it opening night when it went to hit theaters. The crowd was amazing. It felt like being at the movies again. People, I think, have lost touch with what a movie means. You know, what a movie experience is supposed to be. And I think he really pulled it together, and really everyone seemed to, be empowered by that. Now, did you guys know that going into making this movie, that you guys were going to be, pumping life back into the cinema? Like, I mean, I don't want to overplay it, but I mean, like, this guy really has made movies fun again. And I think everyone here agrees. So did you guys know going into this that it was going to explode? That's my first thing.
We were hoping.
Well, yeah, I was pretty excited. I got to go meet Jason Eisner, the director, and I got to go to his family's house in West Africa. He showed me some of his old movies from the 80s that he loved when he was a kid. Like I got to watch Ricky O with him. I don't know if you ever seen that. He said it's one of his favorite films, and he wanted like he said, to make films fun again. Because he said when he was a kid, he'd go to the video store and rummage through the VHS boxes and find the oldest, craziest movies to watch with his friends. And he really wanted to make this film for the fans, so when people went there, they could enjoy it and scream. And it was he wanted it to be like a rock show. He wanted people to be screaming in the theater and just totally loving it and just enjoying themselves. It's pretty much what he really.
Yeah,
just for the fans. He wanted to make it.
For you guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll send a thank you card his way for sure, and for this, for Treevenge, which that was how long ago was Treevenge? Close to around there, a couple of years, foggy, a little foggy. But yeah, it was a couple of years ago, and that actually broke him through. He started with the Hobo with a Shotgun trailer. Now, did you know Jason at that point?
I did, yeah.
You did know? Okay, and I mean, how has things changed? I mean, can you maybe share with us your experiences with him coming into these projects? Like, did you were there obviously to see the whole thing come through? So maybe share some of that with the crowd.
Well, Jason's so awesome because he keeps it real. He's not one of those guys who will get in over his head and be all crazy and be a jerk director. He's just like a buddy to everyone on set. We're all buddies, and the amazing thing is that he was able to keep his closest friends, like the guys who worked on the trailer and who worked on Treevenge and all his little products. And it's just crazy. He managed to keep his crew.
Yeah, the crew in Halifax is pretty awesome. I'm from Burlington, Ontario. When I first met the producer, I heard that they were trying to push Jason to shoot this in Hamilton, Ontario. And he said, no, I want my crew on this film. And I'm happy to do it. So when I went down there, I got to work with these people. And it was amazing. I wasn't much of a swearer when I went down there. I used to go to karate school, so being in front of these kids I used to teach, obviously I wouldn't swear. I get down to Halifax and every other word is fuck. Even on set, Rutger Hauer was like, fuck this, fuck that. The guy holding the mic just swearing nonstop, and it was just a fun atmosphere on set to the point where, like she was saying, Jason's friends with everyone on set. So like, if you have an idea to say lines in the movie, you'd be like, what about this, Jason? And you scratch his head, and Jason always does this. And tilts his head. He goes, yeah, I like that. And you get to do what you want to do in the movie, which is obviously a fun experience to feel like you're with someone who would, you know, embrace your ideas as opposed to, I guess, it's my first movie, but I assume if you're on a Hollywood set, you'd be like, how about this? And like, hey, shut up and stick to the script. So it's really fun shooting with Jason. Like she said, he does keep it real. He's, you know, down to earth guy. So.
Awesome. Now, I guess this would lead into something you said. He makes everyone your friends and keeps his friends close.
Yeah.
So you consider yourself a friend of Jason's now.
Yeah.
So you must also know, like, is he bringing you along in his next project?
For actually, yeah, I actually know a bit about his next project. It's going to be a martial arts based film. It's called Blatant Violence High. So it's going to be kind of like a similar to Hobo, but he said he wanted to make a badass exploitation 80s homage film, and now he wants to make a badass Canadian martial arts film, and that's his next project. And it's fun for me because I get to meet Jason and work with him, and since I do martial arts and that's my background, I played Rip and Ivan in the movie, both those characters. I'm actually going to get to be able to work as a lead role in his next movie, playing one of the lead characters, and utilizing more of my martial arts skills and you know, putting that on the big screen. And I'm sure, thank you, I'm sure Molly here will be in the movie too, as she's such a good friend of Jason's too. So I think we'll be shooting that within maybe the early of 2012, so that's something to look forward to. That Jason's next project, which I'm very looking forward to, and I hope you guys, like Jason's, working out to look forward to it as well.
This will be the first Canadian Kung Fu movie too, won't it?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not that great on my movie knowledge. I'm just starting now, but I think there's some like Kung Fu movie or martial arts movie about Jesus Christ or something that came from Canada?
Yeah, Jesus Christ, Vampire Hunter.
Jesus Christ, man, yeah, something like that. That Jason kept saying that film. He's like, besides that, you gotta do an awesome martial arts movie. I'm like, all right, man, I'm down to help you.
Besides that, that's funny.
Besides that, yeah, that's what Jason said.
Well, it is a great film, and you know what? I think that it's fantastic that Canadian film has evolved. The Canadian idea of a Canadian film doesn't have to be a Canadian backdrop. They don't have to hide the fact that they're shooting in Canada anymore. I think that's really bold, and like I think that with Hobo with a Shotgun and some of the other Canadian films that are coming out now that are taking place again, people are more accepting of a Canadian film, and at the same time, I think that the market is accepting, and people are willing to go see Canadian film. I remember growing up, I mean, you guys are probably the same, you'd hear a Canadian film playing in the theater, and you would say, I'll just sleep at home. Well, it's true. I mean, even the good ones are snorefest, you know, except for, you know, rituals and slasher flick, those, you know, but all those stuff, nothing of that's mainstream. I mean, it's really good that you guys have broken it out into the mainstream. I hope that, you know, you guys are going to continue to work, and this is kind of the beginning of something fantastic and bold and great.
Well, we got to thank the producers for that, because Jason has all these awesome ideas, but obviously you need money to make this. And we had an awesome producer by the name of Lee Fitchman, who really actually took a big chance in this, because like, really, it was Jason. He did a short film that you guys just saw, which was amazing. But for a producer, a big-time producer, and it was funny because he produced like The Red Violin and Passionate, which are these artsy movies. Like you wouldn't expect this guy to step up and do Hobo with a Shotgun, and he did. And now it's, you know, the big payoff for him. It's very cool.
That's great. So and as well, so you know, Jason obviously is taking off, moving forward. You know, that's great, good news. How about you guys? I mean, you're working with Jason Mullen. You've been getting lots of phone calls since, and
I have a couple. I got myself a pretty sweet agent the other day. He saw the movie and he called me and was like, "Wow, I can't believe you're not represented." And I was like, "Really? Why don't you be the one?"
Yeah, and you told them like, "Oh, I've already committed to Shock Stock, so you can't steal us away." That's what they do. They steal you away from us. So it's good. It's good that you guys came. I'm so happy. I think what we should do is open it up to the floor. If anyone has any questions, I'm going to stand up because I'm sick of hearing my own voice on this thing. So I'm going to come around if you guys got questions to ask. I will start at the back and whoop, and I'm going to knock everything over.
What was it like working with Rutger Hauer?
It was quite something. I was scared scared shitless at first. When he first walked in, he's got such a presence and those piercing blue eyes, like stare right through your soul. He's always smoking a cigarette. I don't know, he came up to me, gave me a big hug, and he was like, "Oh, you're nervous. Don't be nervous, my girl." And we really bonded over the fact that I know it's gross, but we both smoke cigarettes, and I thought it was hilarious. Like, he would just light up in a restaurant, and people would be like, "Buddy, you can't do that."
Well, my first thing, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I didn't really know about him that much. And when I first heard from the producer, "Oh, Rutger Hauer got the part," I'm like, "Cool." And I changed the subject, and he was like, "Whoa, whoa, what's wrong with you? I just said Rutger Hauer." I'm like, he's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Oh, I was so embarrassed." And I got to meet him, and his acting was amazing. And at first doing the read-through, he sat down, and everyone's got like this normal voice thing. Rutger starts talking with that really raspy voice. Oh, I see why. This is cool. And then the first scene I did with him, obviously I'm his enemy in the movie. And it was, we were shooting this scene where you guys have seen the movie, it's when like I peer through the door and I'm like smiling with a really evil grin. And I kicked through the door and I smashed Rutger down on the table and I grabbed his hands. And when we were doing the scene, I had a fake knife that was fully erect and you can't shut this knife. So I'd walk in and it fell out of my back pocket. And I go to the director, Jason, and I'm like, we're losing takes here. I keep dropping this knife and it's not going to work. So I think we need the real knife. And as soon as I say that, Rutger looks over and goes, "Fuck off." What? It's the first day shooting with him. He's like, "Fuck off, we don't need the real knife." And I'm like, "Oh, sorry." I was just, he's like, "No, shut the fuck up." And I'm like, "Okay, sorry." So we do the scene one more time, and the knife falls out again. And all of a sudden I hear Jason over the mic, "Can we get the real knife in there?" And I look over at Rutger and he's like, so from day one, I'm like, shit, this guy hates me. But by the end of the film, he actually was my friend, but I think he was a bit of a method actor, and he kind of got into his character and hated me. But besides that, yeah, he was great to work with, and I did learn a lot.
I just have to say, he spent so long in that manhole cover. Like, actually, he was in the ground for so long. He's a 65-year-old man.
Yeah.
He tried to do all his own stunts, like, good on him.
He even did, there's a scene, if you guys obviously seen the movie, where, you know, they're throwing him off right over the railing into the garbage cans and they throw his cane at him. So we had a stunt guy on set, like, who's supposed to do these stunts for Rutger, right? And on that night, I wasn't working, but I would go in on days I wasn't working just because it was so fucking cool, I want to check it out. And Rutger Hauer sets up this 10-foot ladder, and he climbs it, and all of a sudden Jason's like, "Whoa, what the hell's Rutger doing up there?" And he goes, "Hey, tell your behind-the-scenes guy to turn the camera on, because there's a 67-year-old man here about to do a stunt." And he did a front flip into the garbage cans, or into the garbage like bags. Everyone was just like, "What the hell?" So he's still a badass at 67.
More questions, more questions. Question up here in front.
Not so much a question. I guess it is. Your character is hilarious and clearly out there.
Yeah.
Did you like, if you're going to make another movie, obviously you liked it. Where did that come from? You seem kind of quiet, actually.
Well, actually, a lot of the, it's a really funny story, a lot of the lines that my character says in the movies are from real-life instances of the writer. And it makes me laugh, because like some of the stuff, I would like, "Everybody get the fuck out of here, don't forget to wash your dicks." And I was like, "Where do you get this shit?" He's like, "No, we say this in Halifax." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, my buddy's leaving, like, hey, don't forget to wash your dick." And I'm just like, alright. And then other lines, like there's some lines in the movie, for instance, like the large man is what we called him, is the cop that was really rude to her character. Really? And he did, yeah, that's the only way to put it. He's like, "I need peanuts out of her shit." Like, so I asked him, and he said once he was a kid, he was driving with his father, and he saw this guy with a broken down car. Pulled over, picked him up, and he's in the back. John Davies, the writer, is in the back with his dad. They pick up this guy, and he looks over to John Davies' dad and goes, "What's up with a prostitute?" And the guy's, Dad's like, "No." He's like, "You can't beat your wife like you can beat a prostitute. That's what I love about him." So a lot of the lines came from these guys' real life. Apparently that's garlic. I'm not from Durban, so I didn't know this. But yeah, all these lines, these crazy freaking lines, are from Dartmouth. But the one line that I'm actually kind of proud I came up with is, "It's a beautiful day for a skate rake." Yeah, we were on set and John Davies was fussing for a line, and he's like, "You need to say this badass line before you rush into the store and take down the store and kick some ass." And I'm like, what could be cool? I'm wearing skates. Like, it's a beautiful day for a skate rake. And everyone started laughing on set to the point where the guy who was directing the set people was like, "Quiet down, we're shooting." He's like, "All right, that's a good line, we got it." So, yeah, my character was nuts, but a lot of it came from the writer's crazy life, and some of it came from just off-the-wall ideas from all the crew. Thanks, man, I appreciate it.
I would also like to add that as soon as you said that, I kind of panicked a bit, because the first thing that thought to my head is, who got raped with a skate? How loud this comes from? Oh my God, what is he doing there?
Yeah, no, that line was all me, and it's not a real life experience.
Well, we got time for a few more questions. A few more questions from you. I'm gonna actually, I guess I'll take over on again. You got one back here?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Was a lot of the fight choreography, like in the movie, was a lot of the fight choreography like done on the day, or was it pre-planned ahead of time?
We had fight choreography for the Plague or for Ivan?
Like the Plague and...
The Plague scene, I actually went to Halifax a couple times to try and choreograph this myself, and with some of the stunt guys there. And I didn't know this because it's my first movie, but when you really get onto a set, you don't know what you're dealing with. And that whole, you guys are gonna laugh at that whole hospital scene, they put so much money into doing the ceiling gags of when we shoot the people up into the ceiling that they kind of didn't have enough budget to make the walls that powerful. So if you like bump the wall, you'd almost knock the whole set down and the ceiling would droop down and we're like, holy shit. So it was, I get on there and have to do these stunts, and we realized that we didn't have enough space for me to do like some really crazy stunts, so I had to keep it very simple with like leg slices and stuff like that. But the one stunt that I do in it, it's cut really quickly, but it's one of the moves that I used to do in competition when I used to compete for martial arts. Is I throw a weapon under my arm, and as it's spinning in the air, I'll do a spinning kick and catch under my leg. And I do this in the movie, but I didn't realize that it was going to be this hard, because I got there. I put on a full body leotard over my whole body, and then I put on this 30-pound metal suit, and then I put this helmet on which had no peripheral vision, and then they hand me this 10-pound metal sword, and they're like, okay, here you go. And then it's inside, and then they put lenses in this mask, so I couldn't see out of the mask at all. So I had no sight, and I had to throw this metal sword in the air, do a spinning hook kick, catch the sword, and kick the girl, but not actually kick her, while I was looking like I kicked her, catch it, and walk away. So I was like, holy shit. And then I'm sweating. We did it 40 times, that one session, and I only caught it 7. I don't even know how I caught it once, to be honest, but it was, yeah, the fight scenes are, I really wanted to make it kind of like a hard maneuver that no one's ever done in a movie, like a stunt without cords, I really want to make that about like what I do for movies, but I've got to know my limitations, because I didn't expect to be wearing a suit that heavy, having no set at all.
Well,
yeah.
I thought the blocking was great for it, the whole scene was just...
Oh, thank you, yeah.
Awesome, man.
I appreciate it.
Well, you want to make,
I wanna
James
make
wants to make a
question.
comment. Hold on a second.
Are the rumors true that Hobo Part 2 is going to be versus Rocco at the Pussy Pound? Is that true or no? Have you got that script?
You don't have to answer that. You don't have to answer that. Tell Rocco to stay over there. Next question.
The real jaw dropper in the movie is the scene with the flamethrower and the bus full of kids. What can you tell us about that?
That scene was actually really funny. Well, obviously to watch, but it was funny to make because the first thing that was done is the character that plays Slick, my brother in the movie, he's in real life, he is a very like reserved, quiet, kind of like OCD, very perfectionist kind of guy. And they hand him this flamethrower, and it's a real flamethrower. And he's like, so is this, I'm gonna hold this and you guys can CGI? I'm like, no, this is Dartmouth. Press the button, dude. And he presses it, and like a 10-foot flame flies out of the front. And they're like, he's like, is there like an emergency switch off button? I'm like, there's no emergency button at all. You just press it and it goes. That's all it does. It's one button. So I'm like, oh, okay. So we go into this bus with a flamethrower, and we didn't realize it at the time, but a bus is kind of like an oven, right? You light a flame, and it heats up really fast. So it was freezing that day. So when we get on the bus, he goes, I hate hobos. And we're like freezing, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of nice. And it's like, oh shit, too hot. And then my hair's on fire. And I actually have a picture of this. My hair caught on fire because I had like loads of hairspray in my hair. So we're screaming, and then he's going like, oh, like it's just way too hot. We run off, and he's like, Greg's got tears in his face because he's scared shitless because he's 4 feet in front of me and my hair caught on fire. So after he comes off the bus, Jason's like, we have to do anything. Greg's like, oh, right. Get on the bus, and it's so funny to me because Greg's in front of me with the flamethrower shooting. And all I hear is Jason go, Greg, you have to look tough, you're slick, you look scared shitless, man. Greg's like, I'm trying! And he's like shaking with the flamethrower. So, but yeah, it was real. Like, that's the cool thing about this movie is all the stuff that you guys see in the movie, it's all real life. It's almost real. It's scary because like we burnt the shit out of that bus. Like, and that fire when it rolls up, it was so funny because we're on set shooting this and the bus is on fire so bad. Like, if anything had to be done like that in Ontario, seriously, to get that scene permitted, you'd have to have like 4 fire trucks on site, watching to see, just like to light up like a lighter, right? We had no one. We just had this guy with a hose standing by. And seriously, like everyone run down the hill, the fire's out of control. And the guy with the hose is just like smoking a cigarette. It was crazy, but yeah, so it was a funny scene.
That scene actually probably put the movie on hold for a couple extra years because no one wanted to fund a movie where a bunch of kids get torched in school.
But it does help.
But they kept it.
Yeah.
So we have a question right there.
Oh, sure.
This is a question for Molly. You went through some pretty terrible shit in the film, so I'm just wondering, what's the hardest of the scenes you've done and why?
Pretty much, probably actually the hospital gurney scene was the day when I was just really sick of being covered in blood and guts. That's been the day before, like 18 hours straight, just covered in molasses and stuff, like licking it off my face. And I'm in this terrible hospital set. Rutger's smoking away. I'm not allowed to smoke though. And Rutger's on top of me, dumping cold water all over me. And then I look down and I notice there are ants crawling all over me. So I was
the outside shoot where you had was it the lawnmower with the hand, like and the fake hand though. That looked like it was pretty rough too.
That was the craziest day of my life, probably. And when I think of the movie, that's what I think about, is that whole big scene at the end of the Drake show, because that was crazy. I don't know how I screamed so much and how we used so much blood, and oh my god, so much energy went into that. It was nuts. Like,
it actually looked like it was really cold. Was it cold?
It was freezing.
That's great.
All right, one more thing. I'm going to wrap this up here before we let you guys go back to hanging with your fans. Jason just recently posted a YouTube video which contained some footage that wasn't in the movie. There was a different ending or something. You guys want to talk about that maybe? And then maybe where it's going to, like if anything's happening with it, like what his intentions were, maybe something that's going forward, anything you can share with the crowd.
Yeah, well actually, near the end of the shoot, where it was kind of like all up in arms, like how are we going to end the movie, and we'd meet in Rutger's trailer every day and talk about it. So one of the last days, Jason's like, I think we should make Abby one of the plague. So we shot this crazy ending. The guy who made the plague costumes just whipped off this costume for me like super fast. It was amazing. We had this freezer full of dry ice. in this little cryo chamber, and Rip comes in and gets Abby out. She's got like a crazy shotgun arm, and anyway, it was really cool. And I guess they're gonna put it on the special features.
The special features.
Yeah, and Jason's actually been, before starting making Blade outside the martial arts movie, he already wanted to start making a movie for the play. So I think that might be where the end of this movie ends up going into, possibly. Because if Grinder's dead, then he's got to be in the plague number, which would be interesting if he's happy.
So that's it. Interesting. So there may be another plague movie. So you have you talked? Has he talked to you personally?
Not really. No.
Not about that.
He's all over the place right now.
Oh, why? Did you got something going on?
Yeah, no, he's doing screenings all over. I think he was in LA last night for a screening.
Texas.
Once again, on behalf of Shockstock and on behalf of everyone, we'd like to thank you guys for coming.
Thank you guys.
Thanks guys for having me. I hope you guys enjoyed the movie and you guys enjoyed listening to us.
Take that guy out!
What? Hey,
What's this I hear when you're taking over the pussy path?
That's not true.
What's this?
Stand back. Guys, come on. Let's keep this civil here. Rocco. Get out of here, Rocco. Yeah, he's a dangerous guy. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. The Shockstock mascot, picking fights at the first Q&A ever. Fantastic. Thanks again, guys. Everybody stick around all weekend. We got stuff going on. We're going to have plenty more Q&As. You guys will be here for a while and, you know, get to meet the fans. So stop by and say hi. Thanks for doing it. My first Q&A. Cool. Yay for me. And next up, we've got another great film. It's called Dead Genesis. It's going to be playing in a few moments. So we're going to get the filmmakers in here to introduce the film, and we'll start that almost immediately. So.
What are you taking this for?